Hare Krishna. Hope you are doing well. Let's get started with this question on what seems like a 3D geometry problem, right? You are given three variables, you have to find volume, but we'll see something very beautiful and you guys will understand why this is one of my most favorite problems. With these prerequisites in hand, let's get started. Now, the intuitive thing is you see that the region is having a conditioning on Z directly. That should give you some nudge to what would happen if you try to play around with Z. And then you should also remember that when you represent circles, you do it by this kind of thing, right? X square plus Y square on the left side, and then the radius quantity on the right side. So essentially, what it means is when we condition on Z, we are essentially getting the area within a circle, and the radius of that circle is the square root of this. And we know that area within the circle is pi r square. So when we condition on Z, that is when we get this area. And now we can just address this. So it started like an XYZ problem, but we converted into an XY given Z problem, and then we finally deal with Z. So these kind of intermediate conditionings, try to look out for them if they help in making your case simpler. See, it's so beautiful. It's not at all 3D geometry. It's a conditioned 2D geometry, and now we will complete the puzzle. Once we get this conditioned area, we just integrate on the remaining portion of Z. And the reason I put it in the theory section is we are given this thing about Z, and it's important to note that this thing translates to lower and upper bound as -1 to +1, because this is a condition on the modulus of Z being less than equal to 1, which would correspond to Z being from -1 to 1. So this is something I wanted to explicitly bring to attention, and after that this is just nice plain definite integration. And do we get the answer? Absolutely no, because this is not the answer. The original question is asking about the volume divided by pi. So it's 11 by 6, which is 1.83. Be mindful of these things, that towards the end you feel so good, I got the method, but you forget this one thing, and yeah, tragic ending. But not necessarily. We'll be mindful and we will avoid these. Hare Krishna. And going beyond the syllabus. So in the last video, Krishna was asking Arjun and all of us students to be a little bit more tolerant. Now, why was that? Here, Krishna is saying that the person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress, not overwhelmed by happiness and distress both, is eligible for liberation. Now, for our practical purpose, liberation does not need to mean something after this life is over, some afterlife thing. Eligibility for liberation also technically includes liberation in this very life, liberation from the various circumstances, including the anxiety that we feel associated with competitive exams. So essentially, the indication over here is that the degree to which we are building this tolerance, resilience towards these emotions, to that degree, we are going to be anxiety free. And it's a good thing to be anxiety free in examinations, right? Let's see in the upcoming videos what Krishna has to say more. As always, take care. Hare Krishna.